We are back and live on Spaces for the big review weekend we've got. Holy crap. That was a long Saturday. There's George coming in right on time. Had to make sure my voice is going to be good for this one. Good gosh, that's a lot to talk about.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I am good. I admittedly didn't get through all of All Out yesterday. I had to watch the back half of it today, I think it was. Not even half, probably like the last 3 matches.
Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting.
It was a long show.
Basically, I gotta think, 5 hours of a mediocre to bad Dynamite?
or even like a collision with a lot of what it was. That's I get some when we get to the review of it. There's some of them like, why was this even on? This could have been on Dynamite because it's a collision match. Like
before we get into everything, I do know that the the pre-shows were different.
Oh,
the YouTube 0 hour was different than the TNT show.
Oh. So I just had it on I had on what would have been on YouTube because I just had the pay-per-view on, which had that before it with like the stuff with Samoa Joe, and they were calling it like the tailgate brawl. And yeah. I thought them using the word brawl around was probably not the best move. Like, cause you see brawl and All Out, you think brawl out, like that's not. Yeah. Cause
it got it from it was the TNT, tailgate brawl.
Okay, the tailgate brawl, that's what it was. And it was brawl something, the tailgate. Which, I mean, tailgates, I guess they probably do in Toronto as well for the Argonauts or whatever, but like tailgating is like a very American tradition. Like doing it in Canada just seems weird. I mean, maybe they tailgate well up there.
Having done it for 5 years, yes, I know.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah. I just think, all I saw on the branding was brawl, and I'm like, oh, that's not a good.
Yeah, but they were different. Like when you guys were like on YouTube, they had 11,000 people in there, I think, watching it.
Okay.
And when they were showing Renee doing her thing there on TNT, it was different. It's weird.
Okay, yeah, I was watching what was on from YouTube. I didn't realize TNT had anything of it. Maybe is that their like counter to what ESPN was doing for WWE? There's trying to be
close. They've done that before, though. They've always done that too. Always put it on TNT.
Okay, no, I've seen that. I've seen that sometimes with like the countdown shows and stuff with it. But yeah, no, I usually just end up watching it through YouTube, or if I'm going to be watching the pay-per-view, it's just all connected through there. But I purposely only tuned in towards the end because I knew we had a long Saturday ahead of us. So I felt bad because
Samoa Joe on the pregame show. It's pretty smart.
Literally what I was about to say. Thank you. I'm like, the only thing I felt bad about was missing Joe's match, and then I ended up like fast forwarding back and rewinding it because when I watch it today to start from the beginning, I skipped through some, but why is he there doing with whatever he's doing with them?
I had friends from Buffalo that went.
Oh yeah, so was their time affected and stuff because of the? Yes. Yeah, okay. Ooh, do they have stories?
It's only a 3.5 hour drive from Buffalo to Toronto.
Right.
However, when you take into account the weekend traffic of Toronto, it adds a lot of time. So they were planning on leaving at like 9-10 in the morning to get there by 2-3 in the afternoon, check in. Cause they were going to stay, they stayed overnight, but
right. So that
everything got swapped all over.
Which was the number one thing that we talked about when they moved the time. Is like, what about the people that are coming in day of checking into their hotel? Yeah. I think that's what most people would do for an event. You know, like you check in that day. Like for us here in Phoenix, we go up to Vegas for a lot of concerts, and that's what we're going to do. You're going to get concerts on a Friday morning, you fly up, get ready at the hotel, go to the concert that night. If they move the concert to 3 PM, that would kind of fuck everything up.
Yeah, it changes a lot of stuff.
Right? Good God. And that's just, or that disconnect of what real people have to mess with and stuff. And I'm sure.
Yeah, it changed a lot. They were in a bad mood when they got there.
I would assume so. And then, like you said on our show, on our preview show the other day, because we were just thinking about, I know Toronto's close to Buffalo, but it's also close enough to, like you said, like Detroit, Chicago. There's enough people. Yeah. And wrestling fans will travel. We know that. We're just talking about people driving in. What if somebody was going to fly in, like what most people, a lot of people would do? Then they've got to rearrange their flights, try to figure that out. And there wasn't enough time to pull any of that off without it costing an arm and a leg.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make major costs.
Right, exactly. Yeah, especially these days with the way the flights are.
And then the one thing they were looking forward to, as well as everybody else, was the Edge and Christian reunited thing.
Yeah.
So they kind of figured, okay, that's going to be near the end of the show because the crowd's going to be all happy and waiting for this. But no, they didn't get that. Yeah. No, did they?
I mean, we can just dive right into the review. Just so everybody knows what we're going to do is we're going to review the two shows. And then if there's time at the end, we'll open it up for questions or what people want to talk about. If you guys have comments and stuff, put them in the chat because that will pop up in front of me and I'll see it and I can definitely read them out. But yeah, that was, when the show started, when they had the Edge and Christian with the guy from Trailer Park Boys, I was funny because I liked that show. I hadn't thought of it in a long time, but it made me laugh. But then they clipped right to the match. Like, were they supposed to like have gotten changed, like, you know, Superman in the phone booth, or did they say it was pre-taped? Because I didn't hear that. I came back out.
They never tell you it's pre-taped.
I did. Yeah. Well, sometimes WWE will say that, like, hey, this is what happened and led to this. Yeah. Okay. So they were just coming in the back and then had to get changed right away. And I mean, I get it.
It was an odd choice to open it with this, I thought.
Oh, for sure.
That's what everybody came for.
Yeah. I mean, there
were 11,000 people there and 7,000 of them wanted that match to be the main event. Yeah, I'm assuming. I don't know.
It's just like when the Sting retirement, like you got the people in, that was, North Carolina. You got 15,000 people in there and ended it with that. But I wonder if there was like maybe some complaints or something of it. Cause I mean, let's be real. If you're going for the nostalgia act, you gotta be, you're approaching the older fans like us. I mean, after 4 or 5 hours, people don't want to sit there for that long. You gotta, yeah. So I could see that that could have been the idea of why they wanted to do it early. But I feel like if you were going to do that from the beginning, tell us, let us know that. Give us a little bit of, cause I can imagine the people, like if I was going to go into that show, I would have thought the same thing and maybe even trying to show up right at first bell. But like, I don't want to be anywhere for 5 hours.
They were, I mean, they said that the crowd was into it. Like the first match, they were into it. And that blew it right there.
Oh, yeah, shocking.
They were done. Well, they popped for a couple other things during the show, but they were done. They were done.
What else on the card is there to look forward to? I mean, really, like we'll get through it as
the ladders match was anticipated in that stupid tax and tables.
Yeah, but I mean, just
kind of looking forward to it.
And those are more spectacles. Those are more for the spots. Like,
yeah, that's why they wanted.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of the fans and a lot of the quote unquote sickos, which I feel like they're leaning into that so hard. I saw the Tony Storm DraftKings commercial where she just called them sicko fans. I'm like, oh good lord. But I feel like there's not everybody wants the violence. At least, I mean, not every single person that, you know what I mean? So if like, for me, if I went like the violent stuff, like, okay, it is what it is. But yeah, like the number one thing I would have wanted to see was the Edge and Christian reuniting and the match with them. And then
if you bought a ticket, you're going for the violence though.
That's true. Which is why I haven't bought a ticket. It's a very valid point. I had a chance to go to Double or Nothing and I chose nothing. But and then
gonna happen.
And then to have the match was fine for what it was. It was a fine
best wrestling match of the day.
Yeah, it was right. Seriously, but and it was good. It was good for what it was a good old kind of style wrestling match. The little tribute to John Cena was nice from Edge, which I saw some people complaining about, but I even feel like most people
but Cena did a tribute to him,
right? And fine. What it's like when you think of John Cena, like his main rivals, it's like Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Edge. Like those were the three, and CM Punk for a good portion too. You know what I mean? Like those are people that John had great rivalries with, so it made a lot of sense. What didn't make a lot of sense?
Plus, like I said, John gave him the tribute the week before on
SmackDown.
Yeah,
no. Well, I mean, John played the hits of everybody on that one. That was, I thought that.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah, well,
that was return the favor.
But he did it for people that he had wrestled. You know what I mean? He did it for people that he had worked with a bunch, which I love. I love a good callback, but which I thought was all done very well. What wasn't done so well was, the initial part of it when Beth Phoenix came out and returned. Well, they just called her Beth, and then they called her Beth Copeland, which makes sense. But she came out and she speared Stokely. And then they got a 2 count and then she carried him away and that was fine. And then they go into it where they get the win. Great. That's awesome. Wonderful. In their hometown. They couldn't just have left it at that.
Never does.
I put in your hometown. I thought that was one of the things that like there's certain things about Vince that everybody hated. And, the humiliation in the hometown was pretty high up on that list. And it's something that
was up there.
And it's something that like Triple H has kind of gone way out of his way to make sure doesn't happen. Now people are getting well over in their hometowns because of that. And then and Tony does this where Mama Wayne comes wheeling the kid out, wheeling baby Nick in his wheelchair out to cause a distraction so Kip Sabian and FTR can attack Edge and Christian, lock them up with handcuffs to the ropes. Oh God, this was the first match too.
Yeah, they blew it all one shot.
Exactly. This was 2 to 4 weeks of, or even possibly longer of television segments that they knocked all out.
6 months. 6 months at least. You draw 6 months.
If you did it properly, yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, if nothing else, you at least can tease and threaten that you're going to do something to Beth. But no, in her first appearance, in less than 10 minutes from her debut, she gets a spike pile driver from FTR. I almost turned my TV up then. It was 12:15. Like it was early for me in the West Coast. I'm like, I haven't even had lunch yet, and we're spike pile driving Beth Phoenix. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
As he says it sarcastically.
No, yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was literally just and then like, all right, I guess here we go. I mean, I just couldn't believe that was not only how they started, but then what they continue to do. Like it was just, it would
have been good if they just would have ended with the win.
Yes, and then like like FTR gets to regroup and they get mad, and then you can see them going cahoots with matriarchy or whatever with it, but just to do it all again.
Yeah, you've already taken the crowd out of the game.
Oh God, and that's the other thing too. If the entire crowd is there for that, and that is how you end that segment.
Yeah, they got the win. They're all happy. Then they see that.
You're all happy for 30
seconds.
Down.
Yeah. You're done.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I don't know, like Eddie Kingston has been at some different points what some people would consider the heart and soul of AEW or something of AEW, but I mean,
I'm not a big Eddie Kingston guy. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I wanted to be. Yeah, I feel like I
never wanted to be. I can't look at that guy and say professional wrestler.
No,
I can't do it.
I mean, I get you. I feel like I feel like CM Punk or like Bryan Danielson or anybody that's had these feuds with that are like, no, we just want you to be good at this. You've got the passion for it. You've got to drive, but then you drive to the pub and order 3 double cheeseburgers and 6 beers.
Especially after me and you were talking a while back. Remember when he put out that little heartfelt?
Yes, in the Athletic. Yeah. That article.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Couldn't follow up with it.
No. And that's classic AEW. You get something presented in front of you and they just have no idea how to follow it up. And this is another one with it because there is a section, especially of their remaining fans. Cause let's be real. He's been gone for 16 months. They've lost how many? Their average fans is at least down 100,000 from
they came back up this week though. They're back up.
All right. But I'm just saying on average. Yeah. But 16 months ago, that was a good episode would have been like over 700, over 800, you know? But the people that are remaining is my point is the percentage of them is a higher percentage of Eddie Kingston fans. And they just blew his return. He blew it too by literally looking the exact same. Like you're gone. Like anytime somebody gets injured, all I can ever think of is the Triple H quad injury where he like moved to Alabama and got himself in the best shape of his life so that when he had to come back.
Randy Orton coming back.
Yes. I remember we were on PWT Live with you, me, and Phil. When he came back, you're like, wow, man, you think he could have gotten in shape? Like, just Jesus. It was like, Randy's
my official comment was, I'm not a gay man, but if I were.
He's just, and he's kept it and he's, maintained it with it. And no, and then Big Bill is just
wasted.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. And honestly, if anybody hasn't seen it, it's all over Twitter today. But the finish of this match where Eddie does the spinning bat fist, clearly misses to the point where Tony Schiavone goes, oh, he missed. And that's still the finish. They don't even try to do something else, try to do it again. Just, that's fine. Like that right there is just not giving a shit about your job.
Don't show the replay.
Yeah, right.
Just don't show the replay.
Shout out to Brad Becker. Eddie Kingston is the ass of AEW. Yeah, he's the fattest part of the ass of AEW.
I became out of the Eddie Kingston game when he did those series of chops where he chops the opponent and at the same exact time he's also chopping his own self. So he makes the
and he does that less than he starts doing the shitty chops 2 seconds in. They run a little spot and then he does, I think they call him the thunder chops or some stupid chops thing where he does. And yes, I was just less than 5 minutes he's doing that shit again and he's winded. I'm sorry. I just, no, I want to like the guy. I do, but that's all I got. It's just, speaking of,
my friends were saying the same thing that Brad just said. The fans were sitting around. They were mingling. People were looking at their phones and goofing off and just waiting for some other stuff to pop their,
Right.
It happened. We saw it. So.
Yeah. And that happens in a lot of matches. You have something big and you have to have the come down match. Like we talked about Hogan and Rock. Everybody thinks that it was Triple H and Jericho right after, but it was the women's title. They have to have something to have people come down to. And unfortunately, that's what this match was, which again is just setting Eddie Kingston up for failure for his return match. And
how long did this officially go? Do you remember?
At 7 minutes and 20 seconds. I've got the times up here.
7 minutes? That was it?
That's what it says. I've got it here up. I'm up
That's
on
gotta
Wikipedia,
be a first for AEW.
Yeah, right.
Less than 10-minute match on a pay-per-view?
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
The thing is, it felt longer. It really felt like it was dragging by a 10 for me watching it live. No,
right. That's why
I'm surprised. I wonder if that's maybe a typo and that's 17. But I mean, I don't know. Well, they also had the Brian Keith stuff that came out afterwards, and that's kind of all tied to it. And this was just bell to bell. But then you had Mark Briscoe and MJF in the, what was it? Tables and tax match. Yeah. Just, oh my God.
Good idea.
This one is like the Jim Cornette special of just things that he hates. Just write him right away. Just throwing the tax on the ground. And they both come out wearing white, which I get, but come on guys. You can't both be in white shirts.
Yeah. They made it obvious what was going to be happening shortly.
Oh yeah. And it was. And then again, this is happening a little bit before 1 p.m. my time. My wife is in the living room. It's luckily she was watching the iPad and not paying attention. I'm embarrassed that this is on my television at 1 o'clock on a fucking Saturday. Oh God.
Yeah, now it's sorry. Yeah, it's a weird, it's just, I have no words. I really don't.
And again, but back to, and I saw so many people saying this too, not that they got there, that we were on the same train with the moment, but I saw people Alfred Konoa and Raj Giri of this is your chance to be family friendly. Right. There is this opportunity presented to you. Whoever side anybody is on, you can see what an opportunity is there. And they're acting oh yeah, we're affordable. We're blah, blah, blah. Family friendly. Tony Khan has said that. And then this is the third match on the real card. Just thumbtacks in the mouth. There was blood everywhere.
There weren't a lot of kids in the audience by the way.
Of course not. There's
not a lot of kids.
It's mostly single white guys from the age 20 to 50 who the incel crowd that unfortunately usually don't bathe. Now there's peripheries. There's peripheries.
They get some women involved there once in a while.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying the general
couple
fan
ladies
base.
in the audience.
There are people that you can see in the crowd, especially when I go and get pictures for our thumbnails and stuff. I'm so glad to edit them out of it because it's just the same type of people, especially that are going to all the shows and paying for it. And that's why they only get crowds of 12 to 1,300. Yeah.
They send a really strange message to the people though. They got they put AJ Boom on with the Rizzler and Big Justice, and that's good stuff. That's family friendly shit. That's cool. Rizzler doing his thing, whatever the hell he does.
He makes his face. Hey, it made him a lot of money.
They gave him a Rizzler doll, I think, on AEW.
He was some sort of plush thing I saw. Yeah.
Right. Which is cool. I'm good. But then 5 seconds later, you got what you got here. Yeah. And that contradicts what you're just literally trying to do. Go one way or go the other. Just don't go both.
Yeah, and I know they want to say something for everybody, but there's a bit where there's just too much of extremes and things. And I'm not saying that you can't have some violence in certain things of it.
Just go full ad.
You just can't have
do
it.
Every friggin' match is a death match. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. It's and then who fight? You have to follow it. follow that. I don't want to. Like,
they don't care. They don't care.
A little bit at least.
Honestly, they don't care.
No, they don't at all. No.
Somebody would say something because if you're any kind of a wrestler in general, and you see something going on before you that you're doing in your match, you're going to say something to that effect earlier. We're doing the same exact thing in 2 matches. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, and that's why a lot of times I see like MJF, if he's not going to be in the main event, I was surprised he was in the 3rd match. I thought he was going to be in the first. I thought they were going to lead off with this just because I know MJF wants to get my stuff in and get out because everybody, like, you can't follow once everybody else is gone for 4 hours. You know, it's just, And then the next match that came out, like, this is where I tapped out the first time yesterday and I had to go make lunch and deal with stuff because it was the Ricochet entrance stuff with Ricochet and the Gates of Agony versus the Hurt Syndicate. And as I'm making lunch, I'm like listening in. The Hurt Syndicate lost?
Yeah, they
what?
This was we kind of
they lost.
Phil was talking about they put some Phil from Pro Wrestle Times, okay, PWT. He was saying that he had an exchange with MVP. Now, I might not get this right, and I apologize if I don't, but I'm pretty close, I think. He had an exchange with MVP about putting over young talent, and MVP says he puts over young talent. And Phil was kind of skeptical about that. And MVP put over younger talent like he said he was going to do.
I mean, sure.
I'm missing a lot of the in between talk here.
Phil's got a point in the sense of nobody really puts over young talent in that company. Like even
that's where he was going.
Yeah, because like they when Jericho did it once, they acted like it was like moving heaven and earth. Like, and Action Andretti is going to be the biggest star in the world. You know, no, they just did.
Where's he at?
Yeah, teaming with Leo Rush. That's a good.
Okay.
As far as I know, they might not be still teaming. I haven't watched Collision in a long time, and neither has anybody else. But I just know it was because I came back into my living room because I had the sound on. I'm like, and I saw that it was just MVP, and they take it out Lashley, and I'm like, he's gonna beat him with it. And I mean, it makes sense if you're gonna have the Hurt Syndicate lose. MVP's the one to take the pin. You cannot be having Bobby or Shelton look weak at all, but it's just, I don't know, like what have they done with the Hurt Syndicate? They had a moment with them. And then again, I still think it all comes down to like whenever they decided like, oh, we're not going to do the MJF stuff with them anymore. And they just ended that abruptly. Why? It wasn't like they were going to go anywhere better. Everything sucked for everybody.
Abrupt endings seem to happen.
Yeah. And see, that's where I feel like the intrigue is. Like, that's where those backstage stories, like, what happened? Is there a point where Bobby was just like, I'm done. I'm not going to put MJF over at the end of it. Like, what happens backstage? I'm more intrigued by that. But
MVP they have something in store for the Gates of Agony. I think they're younger. They look good. They wrestle pretty good too. Those wasn't a bad match.
Yeah. It's just like this
was actually pretty decent for me. I didn't mind this one.
I always felt like they were a team that was one of those teams that would pop up and look great, but then they went away and never were followed up on. So maybe this group with Ricochet, as obnoxious as he can be, if it gets them on TV every week, that's better for them. It's just, what's the follow-up going to be?
Yeah, that's always the problem. When you start getting over, you got to worry about the booking.
It's
true.
Especially if you get over when they weren't prepared for you to. Like if you were supposed to lose and not get over, and then all of a sudden you're more over. There's no
the acclaim.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, which they had that fun backstage segment thing that they did. That was something. Where they were yelling at each other in the parking lot.
They're back together now, right?
I think
they're running back together. The acclaim.
That's what it kind of seemed to me. I don't know,
but that ship's already sailed. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, yeah, they were arguing backstage and they're in the parking lot, and just why? Another just why is Mercedes Moné versus Riho, and Mercedes did her. Did you see she
Hogan versus Andre? Right?
Well, she tried to do her Triple H entrance where. They were definitely copying when, her, Charlotte, and Alexa Bliss were like when Triple H did the entrance with the throne and he had the 3 ladies with them. It was, and it was those 3. And I swear this is her version of that, but with like the AEW school talents of like, Dustin School or whatever, but all the best talents are either WWE ID'd or in NXT. And it was just a bunch of goofy looking dudes that didn't look that buff. I don't know. It just looked terrible. It looked, again, it's like Timu, whatever you want to call her.
You probably had a combined weight of 150 in there. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Give or take. Because Riho can't go more than 90.
I was going to say 90 to 95. And then Monet's what? 110, 115, maybe? Maybe.
But
I don't know. Yeah, and I mean, it's fine. Like, the match was fine for what it was. I just didn't care. I just,
I was wondering if they were actually going to give Riho the win, though, to be honest with you. I'm like, they might go back to the well on this one. But they didn't, so I give them credit there, I guess.
Yeah, and with what they did later, it made more sense. But I just, again, with Mercedes, like, they act like she's doing so much and changing the business and but everything's the same. She just goes out and she does, and she can do, it's a fine match. She's a fine wrestler. It's just, why? I don't know. I think now it's obvious that they're just keeping the TBS title on her until she can break the Jade Cargill record, because they don't want to act like Jade Cargill was ever a part of AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then she only has 10 titles or 9.
I think it's 9, or is it 8 now because she lost one? I don't know. It's too many, is what it is. That's awesome. That's the answer. That's the answer. Somebody, Jameer Durham just asked, how do you like the Ricochet team name faction? The Demand. I thought they were called, at first I'm like, did he call them On Demand? I don't know. It's a fine name,
Supply
I guess.
Demand?
Yeah, there's just, wasn't that, never mind. Was it? It was Godfather and Val Venus was Supply and Demand for like 3 weeks.
Oh, was it really? I was just making that up.
No, that was an actual tag team in the, it was like in the Attitude Era, but like right when the Parents Council and then it formed into the, Right to Censor. Yeah.
Interesting. I never knew that at all.
The thing about wrestling, there's so many different names and things with it. You've got to kind of go with what you can work with. And I mean, I like Ricochet as a heel. I just think that, his online activity just is so goofy. But speaking of goofy, I think the next match was not this one. No, the one, the next match was Okada, the, unified title, Okada and Takeshita. And then for some reason they had Mascara Dorada in there, but it felt like he just would come in and get thrown out just so they could have the two of them. I don't know why he was on the match. I don't know why they had this match on the card at all. This was one of those matches that could have been a Dynamite match.
I didn't think he was that bad in the match. I didn't want him in there, but at least he did stuff. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. It felt like you knew that he was just in there to kind of have some spots or whatever, but the moment where the money was between Okada and Takeshita.
Yeah, they should have just left it a singles match.
Yeah, exactly. That's, we're going to talk about, this meeting could have been an email. This triple threat could have been a singles match. It was what it was. It did go too long. Again, 21 minutes. Okada doesn't need to be wrestling over 50.
They should all have taken lessons from the Eddie Kingston match, 7 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, that's what they should be. 15 should be the tops for any match they have, and they don't do that. So.
Yeah, if your main event can go to 20, or or certain important things. But to them, every match is WrestleMania 3, Savage versus Steamboat. Like, everybody wants that to be every match they do. Like, yes, that's a great match. It's a lot of people's favorite match, but oi. Speaking of oi, oh God, the coffin match between Moxley and Darby. This is another one where if you tried to, I'm glad we're doing this on Spaces, so I have to try to find pictures that would be YouTube friendly. Right? Because everything's got to be black and white. Like, come on. Family friendly, folks.
This is what we expected, at least.
Yeah. I mean, you knew going into it, but what else can you say? Forks,
it wasn't,
knives, blood.
For what it was, there's nobody that didn't expect to see what they saw and went, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. So that's a bonus. I'll take a bonus where you can, I guess.
We paid for blood. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. That's what this match was. No, it was like, it's just, but I mean, and then like this spot where like, Darby gets like dived or thrown or however you want to do it onto the coffin. Like, every time I see stuff like this, Tony Khan, we're the safest company in wrestling. Like, just why does he say shit like that when his company does shit like this? And
I do understand he doesn't like to be like WWE, but isn't the whole purpose of the coffin match is to put your opponent inside the coffin and close the door?
Close the lid. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to call it the casket match, fine, but yeah, just I don't. And then Pac comes back again. Like, how many returns can he have? Yeah,
new haircut too, looking sharp.
Yeah, it's just. And then when's he gonna go away again? Like, he's back, he's gone. He's back, he's gone. I feel it's either like a visa issue or he gets
hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was just. I mean, Moxley gets the win over Darby. Like, wasn't the whole thing of
it makes
Darby
no sense
lost?
either.
Yeah, right. Just none of it makes any sense. I just make it make sense. Another thing that didn't make a lot of sense, but I was happy to see it, was the end of the women's four-way or the women's title four-way match with Timeless Toni Storm defending her title versus Jamie Hayter, Thekla, and losing it to Chris Statlander, which. I was shocked by this, like genuinely shocked when I saw this. Now, granted, I did see it online before I watched it live because the show was too long. But even when I saw that pop up, I'm like, that's not actually what happened. Oh shit, it is what happened. Good for her.
I checked out before this match and I came back and I didn't know who won it. I was just,
that's all. Good for her, man. Because she's I
don't know. Go ahead, Jake.
She's like the female version of like Wardlow and Hobbs, though, of like where you've got somebody who's got the talent, who gets over and makes connection with the audience, and then you don't do shit with her. And I know she's been hurt. I know she's got the knee issues, which that's a whole other thing. But you could almost use that to your advantage. Everybody loves a good comeback story, and she seems like a good, like, you know what I mean? You get a good story out of that with her, and I'm happy she won the title, but also like, what? Like, isn't Toni been who they've been investing in? I feel like she would have been smarter in my mind to have her win the TBS title, but
I have a strange feeling that this is not going to be long term. That Mercedes might beat her, and then Toni Storm and Mercedes go for all for nothing. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm guessing. I can
see that.
Know.
No, I could. Yeah. Now,
but giving it to Statlander like that, real quick like that, I don't know if it's a long-term thing. It just doesn't seem like they. Yeah.
No, you're right. It doesn't. No,
choice,
it doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Like, and that I think that's why it was surprising. I mean, it's cool to see and glad for her, but yeah, like, I'm nervous and scared of it because they're not.
You're putting a title on a person that hasn't made it through 6 months in a row ever. She gets hurt.
Shit,
something.
When you put it like
you know
that.
what I mean? She's
hurt.
No,
when you put it like that. Ooh, yeah. No, I didn't think it was
that way. She's not there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah. Hey, facts are facts. You can't deny that with it. Where she's, yeah. I mean, I'm happy that she's got it under her belt with it. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, they gets reversed back or Toni does something, or I just don't know where they go with the storyline with it because Tony's never lost the belt before. I don't know. But I mean, good for her in that sense. Good for her.
They're heading toward the Toni Mercedes finale sooner than later, I would think.
It's got to. You would think.
That's why I think Mercedes beats Statlander.
Okay.
So all the belts are on her.
Okay. That makes sense. That's very, although logic and Tony Khan.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about it. Sorry.
No, right. No, you actually put effort into it. And did you have your columns vertical or horizontal? It's all about the columns, man. It's all about the columns. Yeah. No, that would make a lot of sense. Plus, you gotta start getting these belts off Mercedes. There's no, it's lost some sort of, you know what I mean? Like, there's only so much you can do left with it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta get them belts off of her.
In fairness to her, it's not her fault because those promotions want her to come in and win it. They put their promotion on.
Oh, absolutely. You know. I'm sure she's on their websites being, but it's just, you gotta, the old shitter get off the pot, man. You gotta do something. You can't just do nothing. But unfortunately, that's a lot of what they do is just nothing or hold and, not cash in on their moments. You know, like every time I see Jamie Hayter, I'm like, why did she not have that breakup with Britt Baker and have that great feud? Would have been great for both of them. And
she could have won this.
Yeah. She is a talented lady. She is. I every time I see her, I really do like the way she wrestles, and hopefully she can get to NXT sooner than later because I don't think she can.
They were four of the best women that they have in that match, though.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was short. It was only like 12 minutes, I think. 11 minutes, 55 seconds.
See, that's their sweet spot.
Yeah,
it really is.
It
that
really
is their spot.
It is for wrestling in general. Like, I feel like a lot of people remember like the old days and think things went like longer than they did. Like, if you go back and watch some of those older matches, one of the things I love about our classic match reviews that you watch them, you're like, that was 11 minutes. Like, when I was like,
the one we did was only 6.
30. Yeah, and it works. Because if you're entertained and into each moment, there's just not a bunch of bullshit. I don't know.
See, but for AEW, for AEW in specific, having that 10 to 15, even give them 15, you can get your story in, not have to worry about all the after shit that takes place that jacks up for 25 to 30 minutes. That's the problem.
Yeah. No,
they don't know when to end the story, end the match, and that's it. Save the other parts for Dynamite.
Right. Yeah, or do just a little bit, do a little something as opposed to.
I hope Tony's here listening.
Yeah. I did. Hey, I would happily help him out if he would let us. I am more than I'm happy to receive constructive criticism and give constructive criticism. I'm fine with it. It really works for me. Though the penultimate match, which, this you knew this was gonna be the 4-way ladder match. I mean, this is 4 teams having a ladder match with Brody King and Bandito as Brodito. The young crickets, as I call them now, since every time they come out, nobody cares about them anymore, just at all. Jet Speed of Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, and two members of the Don Callis family. And once you saw it was Hechicero and Josh Alexander, you knew they weren't winning since he still hasn't won a match in AEW. And this one went way too long. Like, this match went forever.
What was the official time on this bucker?
24 minutes, 40 seconds.
Seemed like 34 minutes.
The thing about that is I'm assuming that's bell to bell. When you have 4 teams entering, like, that's a long fucking match. Oh my God. Yeah, this took too long. That's all I really got. I mean, and you knew it was going to happen, but this was just spots on spots on spots on spots. And I forget if it was before or after that Darby. It was after. Okay. So we'll get spots on spots on spots and then talk about the Darby. It was, they're fine. I'm not that big into just these type of matches where there's really no story being told. It's just spots and helping each other and setting things up. And
at least they separated it.
Yeah.
At least they separated it with the match in between.
Yeah. No, they did try to, they did try to set, because we said it going into it. There was like the 3 matches that were set up to be bloody. We had the tax match, the coffin match, and this one. What we knew there's going to be stuff on the other matches as well, but those 3, like, you're setting up for a card of violence, whether you want to be family friendly or not. But I don't know. Yeah. This was just. I'm glad nobody was hospitalized in any of these matches, because anytime I see the ladder matches, I hate to do it, but I go back and think of it was Dante Martin. It was that Martin brother when they had I think it was an ROH show where he came out and, like, in the video, you see his foot turn the wrong direction. And
which one I think of?
Which?
Old Eminem.
Oh, with the face one, Joey Mercury?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Where they get.
I remember seeing that. We were watching it on TV, and that guy came down and the ladder went up, and I swear, I'm like, I think he tore his face off. My friends was like, no. And they showed the replay of it, and blood instantaneously.
No,
my God.
And what's crazy is you saw that, like, Jeff Hardy would do that a lot, because it was always the move where he did, like, the split leg, like, jump on the one end and the other ones come out. Cause it's funny you say that, because when I watch Reliving the War on YouTube, and the Hardys are a big part of it. And he does that a lot at ladder matches, and I feel like he used to do that a lot more. And then once the Mercury thing happened, it didn't happen. Julian Ward has a good question here. He says, do you think Toni Storm has 1 foot out the door? I would, except because she said that she's an AEW lifer, and I feel like there's certain people that just are happy taking Tony's money and getting what they're getting.
She's already left. She's been there and already done it. Now they're not coming back now.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, it's one of those things too where, I mean, if you're at the top of the game in AEW and especially the women's division, do you want to go over to WWE and fight in that division? Like, the WWE's women's division is stacked and only getting more stacked. Stars are becoming bigger stars as we move. So
Yeah, wrestling she could blend in. Personality-wise, she'd have to change everything.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Bucks. So there's two things that happen. So obviously, everybody thinks that Brodito wins, but then the Young Bucks are in the ring, and they get attacked by Jungle Boy. And I'm not calling him Jack Perry because he's Jungle Boy again, because they show the video of him resurrecting Luchasaurus, and he comes out and attacks the Bucks, gives him a double choke slam, and he had some sort of like
sash. Did they play the Baltimore music or no?
They did. They do at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause he has the sash that says kill switch and he tosses it. And yeah, it ends with them playing Baltimore and, Jungle Boy on his back riding out as far as I can. That's what I remember. So no, and from what I know about Baltimore, from what I remember, Tony made some sort of tweet that he bought that song and like gave the rights to Jack in perpetuity. Like he owns that. He can use it however he wants to for wrestling, as far as I know. Like that's
good for right? Baltimore.
Right. I was just going to say, I'm like, I don't care about Jack Perry, but good for Baltimore, man. That's a nice paycheck. Okay. But again, like this company always just shooting itself in the foot and going around in circles. Like you can't rehash every time. Like when they always
Jurassic Express worked though.
It did.
It did for a while.
But again, it never really evolved out. The only way it evolved was Jack Perry turning on him. Like they don't know how to do other things with, they just have, the evolution is a heel turn. Woo. As for something where they could make them maybe more serious or I don't know, something with it. But I mean, Jack Perry hasn't done shit since he was Jungle Boy, except for destroy the company by getting in a fight with CM Punk and him leaving and going to WWE and making billions on millions of dollars. And Luchasaurus has been bitch slapped by Christian Cage for 2 years. So it's better for them to go back to the old gimmicks. I'm just not that excited about it because I'm not that excited about it. That's all I got.
Do they bring back Marco Stunt?
Oh God.
I'm asking seriously.
I would assume for a one-off at some point, probably, just because but I mean, on a general basis, you can't. So I would say no, but hey, they do what they want, and speaking of do what you want, the next segment was Jon Moxley in a body bag, Darby Allin lighting him on fucking fire, and all in one shot, so you knew it was him. And word on the street is Moxley's ass is burned. And if you watch the video where he lights him up, that's the first part that gets lit, is right about where his ass would be.
That seems like a pretty smart move.
Oh my God. Why? Like, just why?
Now I'm going to wonder something about this segment. I'm going to wonder if the fire marshal was consulted in Toronto.
Like Fire Marshal Bill? Let me show you.
There's no fire marshal officially in Toronto. It's called something else, but.
Oh, I'm right. I'm sure. Yeah, they probably have a better word for it.
Oh yeah,
the constable of the fire brigade, maybe. I don't know. But I can't. Why does it revert to murder in this company? Like, this isn't Lucha Underground, guys. Like,
wait a minute. Didn't they? Oh shit! Justified. This is murder chance. Tony tweeted out. No, it's true.
No, they've done that. This is murder has been chanted in that company more than once, and I like that. Justified, because Tony's all justified this. Yeah. I haven't seen as many of those tweets lately.
Yeah.
I
caught that.
Yeah,
I think Brad hit me up with that one. That was pretty cool.
No, it's a good one. No, it's valid. But then we had what was it, 38-minute, 10-second main event of Hangman Adam Page versus someone we both think could have a bright future and a lot of potential if he could get out of working for the company that's going to hinder him. But Kyle Fletcher, I mean, obviously the kid's got every tool you need. We just need somebody that's not Don Callis guiding his career, for fuck's sake.
There's no one there that can take it.
Exactly.
He knows what he's doing, though. I'll give him credit. I saw an interview with him. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, no, I very much like the kid. I very much think he's got a bright future. I just am scared. It's like we talked about Jade Cargill, the unlearning, man. It's so much harder to unlearn than just learn. I mean, I was a corporate recruiter for 11 years, and that was a lot of things. There were certain companies we tried not to hire from, or certain things, because you'd rather hire somebody who didn't have the experience but had the skill sets because we could train them from scratch as opposed to training somebody from the old ways and have to unlearn it. And you've talked about it from hockey 1,000 times on these shows. And it's true. And every time I see him, I'm like, the longer he spends there, the worse chance he's going to have. Now, I think he does have the athleticism and skill to be able to pull it off. It's just the longer he's there, the longer it's going to take.
Yeah, and he recently signed a extension from what I remember correctly.
Of course he did. You can't, and that's another thing too. I can't blame him for that.
No, not at all.
I mean, I'm sure the amount of zeros, because the offer you're getting from Debbie, and I'm sure he probably on some level talked to somebody within WWE, and it's more of a developmental deal. Like, hey, you're going to come in, you're going to work, you're going to get paid decently, but you're going to have to work. And then the next one will be the big check. And then Tony just, sends you.
Even those minimums now in NXT are pretty solid, dude.
Oh yeah, they're not bad. I'm just thinking,
78, $85,000. That ain't bad.
Right. I'm just saying, even if they offered him like 200, even if they offered him like $100,000 or $200,000, I'm sure Tony's offering him like $800,000 or $1 million. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think he's getting paid that much.
I wouldn't be surprised in the sense of Tony. I would say he's probably making $750 if I had to guess.
I would say 5 tops.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think Tony doesn't understand, and he knows he's got to overpay to keep people. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know that, actually. But this match was everything you would expect this to be. I mean, I swear one of us could have not watched this match and called it to the other one who did and see how close we could have been. Because it's everything they always do, especially Paige. Doesn't sell to certain things, goes up and does his moonsault, dead eyes, buckshots. Woo!
People don't care he's a champ either. At this point in the night, my friends told me they were just done.
Oh, I can't.
Most of the crowd
imagine.
Was done.
Well, I mean, those last two matches, 24 minutes, 40 seconds, 38 minutes, 10 seconds. And the Darby letting him on fire segment in between. I mean, that's 2 hours of your life of just fuck.
Yeah. And you gotta remember, now you're looking at, okay, so you've been there for 5 hours.
And that's if you didn't watch the pre-show. If you
went
you're
there,
for the whole pre-show.
You're there, you're in attendance, you've been there 5 hours.
Jeez, yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and oh shit, WrestlePalooza starting and it's Brock and Cena. This is going to be much more entertaining. No, I'm always surprised at these 5-hour pay-per-views, how many people are still in their seats. You know what I mean? I wonder if maybe people moved down or something with it. Cause I just don't think I could, I don't want to be anywhere for that long.
I can't. You know me, I can't, dude, no way.
Yeah, dude, I don't like, there's nowhere I want to sit for that long. When I'm on if I have to go on a long flight, I purposely will get an aisle seat because I can't really sleep unless I can lay down. So I can walk up and down and move because I need to. I flew from Phoenix to London a few years ago after about 5 hours, I'm like, I gotta move. I cannot be in the same, I'm just sitting there.
You've known me for a while now. Can you imagine me sitting somewhere for 5 hours?
No, especially near stinky people and watching bad wrestling. No, I don't think I've ever seen George actually snap. I think I've seen it come close. I think that would be the one.
That might be it.
Right? But overall, this match was what it was. Paige was going to win. Nothing that exciting, and that was all out. I haven't seen anything from the.
Yeah. All in all, I gave it a C-.
Yeah. I was D+, C-, because again, it just goes too long. I'm not saying things are always bad. There's a point in almost every match where you can be there's where you should have ended it. Ended there. Yeah. And especially too, when it ends up being the same ending. You have this great finish for the babyface and then they get thwarted, but then they end up winning later. Or the heel has all this heat and then it's a 2 count and then the heel still wins. You don't need to do that if you're going to go back to it. That's why, when you see a guy get a visual pinfall in a title match, you're oh, he's not winning the title because we saw that. That's his gripe. That's wrestling. Yeah. And they just don't do it. And it's just every freaking match and every show and every pay-per-view.
It's too long.
Yeah. So But that was AEW All Out. I guess it's probably a good time for us to get into our little programming note that we've got here. That we're diving into a new experience. Do you want to announce it? Or do you want me to?
So the idea was in my brain at the time that we really during our weekly shows we really don't spend a lot of time on AEW product because, well, you know how we feel. However, equal time, folks. So what we're gonna do is on Thursdays, you guys are going to watch, you know, your SC Maniacs like you always watch. And then at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do our AEW Dynamite review live on YouTube.
Yes, we are going to. This is great practice for me, too, because I got to figure out how to get us to be live on YouTube, too. So, you know, going for reviewing AEW the day after is pretty much is one of the best ways to kind of do that and get me some practice with it. So yeah, 8:45 Eastern, and I've already got a thumbnail made. I'll post it after this, and but yeah, we'll be live on YouTube 8:45 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably only go like an hour, maybe a little longer. I don't think we need to go too long.
The plan is for you people to have your programming for the night. SC Maniacs first. Us second, and then This is Awful. Yeah, exactly. We're kind of, we're in that little sweet spot between them, which is great because we've had all four of those guys on our show before, and they're four amazing people to interact with. So, and I know a lot of people, you know, because I like to do it. I spend a lot of my time watching it on live shows, interacting with people. It's more fun than watching regular television, you know, and so, you know, I've even ordered, like, not for this week, I don't think, but I've even ordered a camera. Wait a minute.
Behind me.
If we get a certain amount of number, we'll discuss it on Thursday. We get a certain amount of number of likes. We get a certain amount of number of likes. We'll decide if we go on camera or not.
Yeah. Well, because the whole idea is to drive more eyes to us, more subscribers.
I'm trying to make this a game where we get likes.
I like it. No, I'm all for it. More likes, more subscribers. That's. Every time I get that little notification that you have a new subscriber, like it's an amazing shot of dopamine. So please help us out. We're gonna. The other kind of slogan I'm kind of thinking is, you know, we'll watch Dynamite so you don't have to. We'll give you the review of it.
Yeah, we got some great production value too.
Yeah, hey, we always do with our production team, which is just one guy. But our production team, Chuck,
it all works.
No, thank you. I'm excited for this, so this should be a lot of fun. And then to go SC Maniacs, us, and then This is Awful. That should be a fun Thursday for folks, especially to kind of recover from and we wanted to kind of find a good time to start, and the first Dynamite after All Out seemed like the perfect first one to review, and so this will be the first because I've known we were going to do this for a few weeks. I purposely haven't watched Dynamite in a while. So this is going to be like, hey, I'm coming back in. Bring me into your show. Hey, make me a fan of your stuff. I'm giving it a full on honest effort and going to take notes of, hey, if they succeed, great, but probably where they fail. It's going
to be fun.
It'll be fun. If nothing else, we'll be able to crack some jokes, have some fun.
At this point, I think most of you understand my humor and Jake's humor. Mine's a little different, but you know where it's coming from at this point.
Yeah.
So you're going to get lots of that.
Yeah, we're going to, and then we'll have interaction. We'll be able to read the chats and,
there'll be no super chats yet, so don't get excited.
Not in that way. There is a method where
people.
Yeah, no. Well, I think I found a tool that they can chat through that, and then I'll see it, and I can still put it on the screen. I'm working on things behind the scenes on that through another service, so we'll see until we can actually get the real super chats from YouTube. But,
all you do is have them send it to your PayPal or Venmo account.
Right? Yeah. That's a good idea. That's a valid point.
That's how everyone does it now. So
yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yeah. And I could get a, QR code for that too. Yeah. See, this is why we do this stuff. I learn better by doing. So we're better off instead of preparing, just dive right into it. So this Thursday, you will see us going live. It'll be fun. I'm excited for it.